Above the entrance of this abandoned building in Bulgaria, someone has spray-painted 3 words: "Forget your past." Bulgaria's government has been trying to do exactly that for 35 years. They cut the funding the day communism fell. They let the copper ceiling be stripped and sold. They watched the mosaics collapse. They assigned no institution to own it, maintain it, or decide what it was. And instead of disappearing, this monument became one of the most photographed abandoned buildings on Earth. Visited by 50,000 people a year, closed to the public, legally nobody's responsibility, and too famous to demolish. Stand at 1,432 meters above sea level, on a peak in the middle of the Balkan Mountains, and look at this thing. A concrete flying saucer perched on the top of a mountain that was blasted flat with TNT to make room for it. The roof is cracked. Weeds grow through the floor. Snow drifts through broken windows. There are photographs of the inside taken in winter, where the main hall looks like a skating rink, a literal sheet of ice across the concrete. And above the entrance, in giant spray-painted letters, 3 words that turn the whole place into an accusation against itself: "Forget your past." Somebody wrote that on a building the Bulgarian state had already spent 35 years trying to follow. They cut its funding. They stripped its copper. They left no institution responsible. And the more carefully they tried to make it disappear, the more famous it got. This is the Buzludzha Monument, inaugurated in August 1981, used for exactly 8 years, abandoned in 1989, owned by no one in particular ever since. The numbers are the kind that should mean something. The peak itself was reduced by 9 meters in height, blasted with TNT, to give the structure a flat seat. The build used roughly 70,000 tons of concrete, 3,000 tons of reinforced steel, and 40 tons of gilded glass. Inside, more than 60 Bulgarian artists collaborated on 937 square meters of mosaics, using around 35 tons of cobalt glass. Construction cost 14,186,000 Bulgarian lev at the time. Converted into today's money, sources do not agree at all. Estimates range from roughly €7 million to around $35 million, depending on how you do the math. That disagreement is the smallest mystery here. The largest is this: the build was financed by nationwide public donations. Citizens were told this was a monument for the people, by the people. They were asked to contribute. They did. Then, 8 years later, those same citizens, under a new government, were not asked anything when it came time to abandon it. You can see the original logic. In 1981, this site already carried weight beyond communism. It sits on a mountain with historical significance going back centuries. The state wanted a monument to anchor an ideology. They picked a peak. They blasted it down. They built a structure that, even now, photographs like an object dropped from the future. They held Communist Party celebrations inside. They ran guided visits. For 8 years, the building did what it was built to do. The construction itself had taken 7. It was operational for barely longer than it took to pour. Then the regime fell, and the new government had a choice. You would think the choice was, keep it, repurpose it, or take it down. It wasn't. The choice they actually made was, do none of the above. All maintenance ended with the fall of communism in 1989. Not gradually, not by accident, but as a clean severing. No budget, no assigned institution, no legal status. The building was simply released. That is the original sin. Not the construction, not the ideology, the release, the decision not to make a decision. In the mid-1990s, Bulgaria's right-wing government, working to put visible distance between the country and its communist past, effectively allowed the monument to be ransacked. The copper ceiling adornments were stripped and sold. Windows broke. Mosaics were vandalized. The structure was opened to weather it had never been designed for. This wasn't a tragic accident of neglect. There was an active period of physical dismantling. The people who took the copper off the ceiling were making a statement. So was the government that let them. You start to see the shape of the trap forming. Because the one group that wanted to take the building back was blocked by law. The Bulgarian Socialist Party, direct successor to the Communist Party, made multiple bids to acquire it. All were refused. Current legislation prevents the uncompensated transfer of state-owned property to private persons or groups, and the party could not present practical plans or proof of funding. So the only group with a clear ideological interest in saving it could not legally own it. And the institution that did own it, the Bulgarian state, refused to touch it. The monument was now legally stuck, belonging to everyone, belonging to no one. And here is where the story turns on itself. Because while the Bulgarian state was working very hard to forget it, the rest of the world started showing up. Photographers found it. Urban explorers found it. The interior, the saucer, the mosaics, the empty hall, the snow blowing through the broken eye at the top, turned out to be one of the most cinematic ruins in Europe. The images travelled. They appeared on covers of travel magazines. Films were shot there. Music videos. A Hollywood action movie. Prior to its eventual full closure, the monument had attracted over 2 million visitors. By 2024, it was still pulling in approximately 50,000 urban explorers per year. Think about the irony for a second. A government tries to erase a building by ignoring it. The ignoring is what makes the building famous. The decay is what people fly in to photograph. The graffiti is what they screenshot. The roof, opening to the sky, becomes the shot that defines the place. The neglect did not bury the monument. The neglect was the marketing. This is the reversal that pulls the whole story into focus. The Bulgarian state's strategy worked perfectly on its own terms, and then backfired completely. Buzludzha was supposed to be ignored into invisibility. Instead, it became the most internationally recognizable building Bulgaria has produced since the end of communism. In 2018, Europa Nostra named it one of the 7 most endangered heritage sites in Europe. In 2019, the Getty Foundation awarded $185,000 for a conservation plan. The Buzludzha Project Foundation, formed in 2015 by a Bulgarian architect who first encountered the building as a student, has been raising international funds, hosting annual festivals at the site, and arguing for restoration, not as a return to ideology, but as preservation of a building that the world has decided is significant. The building you were supposed to never look at again is on a watch list of the world's most endangered heritage. So the trap closes. Restore it, and you spend a lot of money on a structure many Bulgarians still associate with repression. Estimates put a minimum stabilization and restoration at roughly 7 to 7.5 million euros. A 2024 tourism conversion proposal, as covered by trade press, ran to around 35 million euros for full conversion. Demolish it, and you are tearing down a building that international heritage bodies and 50,000 annual visitors consider one of the most significant examples of socialist modernist architecture in existence, on a mountain whose history predates communism by centuries. Leave it, and the 937 square meters of mosaics, already 1/5 destroyed. Keep losing irreplaceable artwork every winter. 60 artists, 35 tons of cobalt glass, coming off the walls, piece by piece, into a snow-filled hall. And before any of those plans can move, 2 basic things have to happen first. Bulgaria has to legally designate the building as a monument of culture, which it has not done, and it has to assign an institution to manage it, which it has also not done. So the foundation that is doing the most for the structure, working with international funders, building a digital twin, running EU-supported projects on how to handle dissonant heritage, still cannot legally open the monument to visitors. The keys are nobody's keys. The Bulgarian state owns the structure and has not acted. The foundation working to save it cannot legally open it. The graffiti remains above the door. Building a monument is faster than removing one. Abandoning a building is not the same as making it disappear. A government can stop maintaining a structure. It cannot stop the world from looking at it. And the longer this standoff lasts, the more the building decides for itself, one mosaic at a time, one winter at a time, one panel of cobalt glass at a time. What gets remembered and what does not.